No one tells you this. Losing the weight doesn't fix everything. If anything, it forces you to see things you've been avoiding for years. Now, I've always been the big lad, my entire life. Not a phase or something that crept up over time. Literally always. And after a while, you stop questioning it. You stop thinking, will this change? And you start thinking, this is just who I am now. It becomes something you fight and becomes something you accept. And for the best part of 20, 30 years, that's exactly what I did. Then, 74 pounds ago, I made a decision that didn't feel exciting. It felt like I'd run out of road. There were no other options. But what I didn't expect wasn't just the weight coming off, it was what came with it, because losing it didn't just change how I look, it made me realise things about my life I hadn't seen for years. And honestly, some of that is quite hard to look at. Hello everyone, I'm Manda's Midlife, and I have lost 74 pounds now in just over 9 months. On my medicated weight loss journey, I take Mounjaro every single Sunday, putting 10 milligrams straight into my belly. Now, this channel is all about sharing the highs, the lows, and all the uncomfortable bits in between. What I learn, I share with you. Because the strange part for me wasn't losing the weight, it was realising how long I've lived a certain way without ever really questioning it. And once you see that properly, it's really hard to unsee it. For me, that started with something really simple. And I'd never really known anything other than being the big lad. It's just how I was. It was almost like my identity. And that wasn't when I was growing up. That wasn't as an adult, and it wasn't at any point in my life, really. It wasn't something I felt I'd become. It's just always been there. And it's just how people saw me. It was me. And eventually, that's how I saw myself. So I wasn't the one who just put a bit of weight on. Oh, you put a few pounds on. Oh, you put a bit of timber on. Oh, you used to be so slim once. It was literally me always. And because it was me and it was my identity and it was what I was, I never really questioned it. And I never really felt like someone who let themselves go. I just thought, this is who I am. And you sort of live with it, you cope with it, it becomes you, it becomes your day-to-day business, it becomes what you are. And that's the part people don't really talk about, they don't really recognise it. It's not the weight, it really is what's become your identity. And then I stumbled across what I'm going to call the last resort. I wasn't excited when I got the Mounjaro. If anything, I was a little bit scared, and it didn't really feel like a fresh start. It felt like I'd reached a dead end. It was the end of the road. It was my only option. I've tried everything before: Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Atkins diet, you name it, I've done it. And yeah, I'd lost weight before, but I'd never really done it consistently so that it actually stayed off. And it always felt like I was forcing myself. It always felt like it was hard work. I was always constantly fighting myself. And when I started Mounjaro, it didn't feel like it was that little glimmer of hope. It felt like it was an absolute necessity for me. And I didn't even start this because I was motivated. I started it because I felt like I had no other option. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, eat less, move more. But that is such that's literally 4 words, and it's so easy to say. But to someone like me and thousands of others, it means absolutely nothing. Because guess what? We've tried all those things. And guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work for us. It might work for you, but it doesn't work for us. Because we're a little bit different. We're not like you. And do you know what that weight actually felt like to me? Because it wasn't just weight, it was a life I'd quietly adjusted around. Clothes I've stopped bothering with, places I avoided. Swimming pool, not a chance. Beach, not a chance. Now, I used to be massively into cycling. Even when I was quite large, when I was, well overweight, I was still into cycling. And I did Land's End to John O'Groats, I've done London to Paris, I've done Bristol to London, I've done so many sportifs. But I was always the big lad. I was always the big lad at the back, the big lad who got to a hill and I would just they'd go like that and I would just go backwards. And do you know what? I wasn't miserable. I wasn't unhappy with it. But what it did do was make my world smaller. And if I'm being honest right now, and you know, this channel for me is all about being honest, I'd stopped even noticing it. Right, quick one, because I get asked this constantly. When I first started this, I had no idea who to trust. It's honestly a complete and utter minefield online, and there are some proper dodgy places out there. I didn't fancy taking any chances with it, so I ended up going with Bolt. They're a proper UK registered and licensed pharmacy. Everything's legit, and they've been solid with me from day one. I've stuck with them now for a couple of months, no issues, no messing about, which when you're doing something like this matters more than anything. They've also sorted out a discount link, which I'll leave down below in the description, so if you're thinking about starting Mounjaro, or you're already on it, or you just want a reliable supplier, the link's in the description. Go and have a look. Right, let's get back to it. And that's what losing the weight has really forced me to see. And it's not so much the number on the scales for me right now, although don't get me wrong, that is important. Who doesn't like seeing a loss when they stand on the scales? It's how I move, it's how I show up, it's the clothes I can buy that I actually want to wear, rather than just, you know, sort of making do. You know, I've got a grandson now. I want to be there. I want to be running around the park with him. I want to be kicking a football with him. I want to do all those exciting things and watch him grow up to a man as well. And I want to be present when he's doing it. I want to be moving and I want to be engaged. I'm 53, I'm 54 this year, and I actually feel like I'm living my life again. Not a better life, just my actual life, and it feels absolutely amazing. And if there's another part I didn't expect, it's this. I'm angry I waited so long. I'm disappointed I waited so long. And like I said earlier, I've tried all the other things, but it just didn't stick. But this makes me a tiny little bit sad that I didn't start sooner, because for 20, 30 years, I just told myself, this is who I am. I'd battle to lose weight, I'd put it all back on. And now I realise with this medication, it doesn't have to be like that. And that's not me being pity party full of self-pity. It is really just my honest truth. Because I honestly believe the hardest part isn't the journey. It isn't starting taking these weight loss medications. It's realising how long you spent not taking it. So what do I think of myself now? Who do I think I'm becoming? Because I don't feel like I'm becoming someone new. I'm still me, I'm still Mounjaro's Midlife. But I think I'm becoming the person that was always there, the person that was always underneath it, the more mobile, the more live, the more agile, the more physically fit, the more able person. And to be honest, I'm still figuring that side of it out, because it still feels weird to do some of the stuff that I'm able to do now. It's made me very aware in a way I've never been aware before. So I know this video has been a little bit different than what I would normally do. It's been really sort of said from the heart, and it's it's me opening up and trying to show you what a difference this weight loss medication sort of can make to a person, just a normal person who sits in front of a camera twice a week and sort of tries to tell his story, tries to educate people on what he's learned in his 9 months. And really what it's all about is, if you spent your whole life being the big lad, thinking this is just how it is, I get it, I 100% get it, I can relate to that so much, because I actually lived that life for a long time, for years in fact. But what I need to say to you is, it doesn't need to be the last chapter, it doesn't need to be your whole story, because if you've got this weight loss medication available to you, you're privileged enough to be able to afford it, or your insurance pays for it, or the NHS pays for it. Speak to your medical professionals, because this really doesn't have to be how you live your life. It has changed my life. It is an absolute game changer. And I'm saying that wholeheartedly from a place deep inside of me. If you found this video in any way useful, if you're on a Mounjaro or weight loss medication journey, or you're about to start a weight loss medication journey, then please like this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, it would be absolutely amazing if you could. I release videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Saturday's a little bit more light-hearted, a little bit more community-based, where I answer the questions that you send in. If you've got a question for Q&A, pop it down below, mark it Q&A, and it will be on one of the upcoming Saturday videos. Thanks as always for your support. There are many ways to support the channel. If you want a little bit more sort of behind the scenes, you want to see a little bit more of this middle-aged chubby man waffling, there are memberships and you can join the inner circle. You'll get a shout out on the channel, you'll get early release of all the videos, and you'll get a few exclusive behind the scenes sort of look at things as well. As always, there's never any pressure to do so. If you do, it's just another way to support the channel. I will see you all on Saturday. Thanks ever so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your week.